classical conditioning of classical's correction, constructive criticism. Follow us for live correction. Yes, slowly we'll correct the letters. No hurry. If you don't have time, it's not our problem. If you have time, follow them. Because these sessions are meant for constructive criticism. Right. So, there you are. How many words? 200 and, yeah, till here. It's 277 words. So 277 words over length. Over length. It is over length. Number one, the letter is exceeding the word limit. Okay. 77 words. So we can say it over length. Over length. What do you mean by over length? So the letter is exceeding the word limit by 77 words. Okay. These are 77 words extra. Okay. Exceeding the permissible. Yes. That is number one. Now let us see the letter. So we are going to do two levels of correction. Now here, the first one, no need to write a 2 here. It's not necessary. You don't write, no problem. Okay, just straight away you can write. Okay. Then next one is left margin. Left margin. So this margin, it should be in a straight line. Why this space, empty space? It should start from here. It should start from here. Okay, maintain the left margin. Maintain the left margin. That means start from the first dot on the line. Okay. Start from the first dot on the line. Okay. It should be straight from top to bottom. Top to bottom. Okay. Top to bottom. It should be straight line. Fine. Next. In charge. In charge. Okay. What does Cambridge Dictionary say for the word in charge? So in charge. So in charge is one word, the in charge officer. In charge officer, if you are using like an adjective, it should be one word. So here you have written in charge of rehabilitation, in charge. Okay, in charge of rehabilitation. So is it an adjective? It's a noun. So if it is a noun, so how are you going to write? In charge, noun. Is it there in charge as a noun? In charge of. In charge of. In charge. So like this is correct. You can see here. In charge. So this is the way how you have to write. In charge of something. This is what you have written actually. In charge of rehabilitation unit. That is what you have written. In charge. So why did you join? So that's the question. In charge of something. So that's what you are at. Of is here. In charge of here. So you have to think about the words twice. Yeah. Next. Occupational therapist. This T is not very clear. T should be capital letter. It looks like small letter, like crossing up. So T should be very clear. Cross from left side. T capital letter should be like this. From the left to right. So this is a problem here. Okay. It's a problem. Only one side it is showing. The second side it's not showing properly. Write very neatly. Okay. So Miss Annie Mary Johnson, occupational therapist in charge of rehabilitation. Rehabilitation what? In charge of rehabilitation. Where is the case notes? In charge of rehabilitation. So that's in charge of the rehabilitation ward. So this is the mistake you have done. Okay, I will correct it later. Okay, you have done a mistake there. Right. Southport QLD 4220. Okay. Okay. When you are write with pencil, better. Write with pencil so that you can erase and write a correct the sentences. Write with a pencil because you can correct during revision. Okay. Fine. Next one. Dear Miss Johnson. Miss Johnson, okay. Regarding why this space here before colon. Do not leave space before colon. Do not leave any space before the punctuation marks. What punctuation marks? Commas, full stops, full stops. Now let us see. I have a doubt. Full stop is hyphenated or one word. I have a doubt myself. So no problem. We can go and check. So full stops. Yeah, full stop. Yeah, full stop is no hyphen. So correct. What we have written is correct. I have a doubt. Full stop. No hyphen in between. So I went and checked. So what is the problem? Full stops, commas, full stops, semicolons, semicolons and colons. Okay, colons, etc. Okay, right. These are some examples. So do not leave any space before punctuation marks, commas, full stops, colons, semicolons, question marks, like that. So do not leave any space. Okay, next one. Mr. Joe Black, comma, why so much space here? Why so much space? Not required. Date of birth. After date of birth, you have to put a colon. Okay. No space before comma. I just told you already in the previous point. Okay. Next one. After date of birth. DOB. Okay. After DOB, colon is required. Like DOB colon. Okay. Like that it is necessary. Okay. Colon is required after date of birth. DOB colon is required. 1 May 1990. Very good. Mr. Joe Black, comma. See, I'm showing you these mistakes. Why this dirty mark here? Huh? You would have used a pencil better then. Huh? Fine, no problem. So, uh, erase the mistakes using an eraser while writing with a pen. Writing with a pencil. Or or whitener. Okay, while using a pen. Okay, yeah, erase the mistakes clearly. Okay. Next, with permanent paraplegia, who was diagnosed with permanent paraplegia. Why here? Where is this comma? With a who is a relative class. Who is a relative class. I'm not calling anybody to come and directly watch this one because they'll be disturbing. So I'm giving on the YouTube. You can watch on the YouTube. Okay, you can watch on the YouTube. Right. Yeah. So sorry. Next, comma. This is a relative pronoun. Black who? Relative pronoun. Pronoun. Okay, relative pronoun. Clause. Subordinating clause. The subordinating clause should be separated using a comma on either sides. Okay, both the sides you have to put a comma. So that's it. So who, before who, comma, after paraplegia, comma, requires a referral for assessing the disability levels and also beneficiary aids to support, comma, space, why space, adapt and to regain. Two is already there here. Why again another two? To support, adapt and regain independency to lead his life. Who is preferably being discharged on 5th. Again another who. Why? Why so lengthy? Preferably being discharged on. Scheduled discharge or preferably being discharged on 15th May. Okay. Mr. Black's medical history reveals that he is allergic to penicillin. What is the spelling of penicillin? What is the spelling of penicillin? Learn the spellings and write the correct spellings of the words. Okay. Write the correct spelling. That's important. Learn and write. Don't just write like that blindly. And endone. And have bad penicillin and endone. Allergic to penicillin and endone. And have a. How can you say have for Mr. Black? He have a. He have. What do you mean by he have? How can you say he have? So, third person, singular number. Third person, singular number takes S. So, you have to say he has. He has. She has. And it has. Okay. He has, she has, and it has. You cannot say he have. How can you say he have? So he is. So why did you not say he are? So the same way, he is correct, then he has should be correct. He has had fracture. A fracture. A fracture. Countable. Fracture is countable. Is it a fracture? Nouns, are they countable or uncountable? Learn. Nouns can be countable or uncountable. You have to know. So countable nouns. Okay, countable nouns take an article before semicolon, and uncountable nouns do not. So countable nouns take an article before and uncountables do not. So for example, a fracture, 2 fractures, 3 fractures. Okay, maybe. Let us check. If we have a doubt, let's go to the father. Fracture, 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 intransitive or transitive. Okay, fracture, formal. Noun, countable. Countable means you can count. A break or a crack. Okay, he has a fracture. See here, a fracture, a hairline fracture, a fracture. So a fracture should come if it is singular. A fracture, or if it is more, some fractures. So you can count. That is countable. Okay, this is countable. Countable. A fracture or some fractures. Then uncountable. Uncountable. Okay, uncountable. You will have just like this, water, like that. No a water, air, that's all, like that. So you have to remember that countable and uncountable is very, very important. Right. Many people don't know many things. So they have to know. Reached and has had a fracture of the left wrist, the left body parts. Body parts. Number 11. Always use the definite article. Definite article. The. Always use the definite article the. With the body parts. Because they are unique. Because they are unique. Unique means only one. One or one set. Single or one set. The arms means two. The arms. Or the right arm, the left arm. The neck, only one. So this is unique. So always use the earth, the sun, the moon. When things are unique, you have to use the. Remember that. Definite article. Then fracture of the left wrist 7 years ago. So full stop. Why space? The patient is a Bachelor of Law student. The patient is a Bachelor of Law student. Bachelor of Law, finished. The patient is a Bachelor of Law. Why should you say student? Okay. Pursuing the 3rd year. And here, why so much space between two words? Always one letter space, or you can say single letter space. Single letter space should be used to separate two words. Okay. So here, always single letter space. I'm very happy. There are some people watching on the YouTube. Okay. So because here I don't get disturbed. I get disturbance. So on the YouTube, you can see as and when you want. That's very nice. Okay. Always a single letter space. A space. a single letter space should be used to separate two words. Okay, two words. You can say successive words. Okay, two words. Fine. Okay. Next one. A bachelor of law, third year, the third year, the third year. So use the definite article. Always use the definite article. Use the definite article. Why people don't get the, okay, always use the definite article with what words, what adjectives here, what numerals. We call them as cardinal numbers or ordinal numbers. Ordinal numbers. Now, what are these ordinal numbers? Ordinal numbers means order, numbers order. Order, first, second, third, or order. It is not cardinal numbers. Ordinal numbers means the first, the second, the third. So always use. Go to Cambridge Dictionary again and ask what are ordinal numbers. Not everyone will know this. Ordinal numbers means a number such as first, second, third, fourth, that shows the position of something in a list of things. Okay, right. So example, see the examples. Okay, see the example. So ordinal numbers, the first, the second, the third. You must use the. So ordinal number. Yes. She was fifth in the race. Okay, the fifth. The fifth person, the first man, like that. The position, the only one position will be there. So always use the definite article with ordinal numbers. Okay, remember 1, 2, 3 are cardinal numbers. First, second, third. So you have to use like this. Okay, the first, the third, and the last. Yeah, the first, the third, the last, the previous, and the next, the final. All these, they show the order. The first, the third, the last, the previous, and the next. They show the order. So that's very fine. So next, space. He lives along with parents and a sister. Why along? Unnecessary. He lives with his parents and a sister. So that's it. Why along? Just with his sister and parents, enough, no? So on 10 March 2017, why comma space? The patient was brought in by ambulance to the emergency department. The emergency department will be only one. So it's unique. The emergency department. You see in the case notes also, you can see there. The emergency department. Only one emergency. You will not have two emergency departments. Even if you have two emergency departments, there will be the outpatient emergency department or the inpatient emergency department, or different names will be there. Okay. So the emergency department. Okay. The emergency brought in by ambulance. The emergency department. Right. So whenever you know that it is single, unique. Okay. Emergency department is unique. Only one. The outpatient department will be only one. Okay. The operation theaters. The operation theaters. There will be 3 or 4. The operation theaters. Limited number. So definitely you have to write the before. Specific things. Always use the definite article. Many people don't know how to use the definite article. Definite article, the, with the unique things, with the specific things. Specific things. So now what is that? Let us see here. So the emergency department. The emergency department. Yes. Of Gold Coast University Hospital. So emergency department, okay. The name of the Gold Coast University Hospital. So Gold Coast University Hospital. H should be capital letter. Okay. Emergency department of the Gold Coast University Hospital. Okay. When you are writing in the address, you don't need to write. Okay. So actually, why you need to write that one here? Okay. The Gold Coast University Hospital. So name of the hospital is coming along with the name Gold Coast University Hospital. So it should be capital all. For example, if you say street, small letter. Street, whenever you say street, it is small letter. Street, it is small letter. But when you say Lincoln Street, it should be capital letter. Street also should be capital letter. So generic and specific, that's what I'm saying, capital letters. So generic words. Okay. You have to use small letters. Okay. Specific words. You have to use capital letters. Now let us see what are generic words and what are specific words. So generic words. For example, if you say street, small letter. Hospital, small letter. But when you say, so these are generic. Generic means general, common. Generic means general, common. So when you are using generic words, very good. There are 6 people watching on the YouTube. Very good. I appreciate your patience. You're learning something which is very, very important. People are suffering for these things. Okay, you're learning. You're going to learn something. Be glued to YouTube. No problem, because I'm not allowing anybody to come onto the Zoom. Even the person who has written this letter. So they have to, because I have to focus on some more important things. So generic, street and hospital are generic. So you use small letters, but specific. Specific means a special, not a general. Specific means a special. Special names. For example, Lincoln Street. This is not just any street. This is Lincoln Street. And okay, then you can take the name of a hospital. Which hospital? Okay. Parker Hospital. Now this is not just any hospital. This is Parker Hospital. You have to remember that. Parker Hospital. Okay. Parker Hospital or Lincoln Street. So this is how. These are specific names, special names, proper names. So you have to write hospital also capital letter here, because you are writing along with the name of a person. Parker Hospital. The name of this hospital is a special name. It's not just any hospital, it is Parker Hospital. So like that. Or you can say Newtown Hospital. Okay, Newtown Hospital. Newtown Hospital. So name of the hospital is given. Right. So you have to remember this. Okay. People don't know. That's why they are losing the marks. Okay, university. This R and S are same for me. I don't. Can you show me? What's the name of this girl? I don't remember the name of this girl. Let me check the name of this girl. Yeah, Uppula Srilatha. Yes, right. What is the difference between R and S? I'm not able to digest this one. I'm not able to digest this one. Can you explain me? Srilatha, can you tell me any difference is there? Or in that manner, can anyone tell if there is any difference? Okay, maybe you'll get a lottery of $1 million if you can show the difference between these two things. University, U-N-I-V-E, R and S. For me, they both look same. I don't understand what is the difference here. So, be clear. Clarity is the spice of life. Be clear while writing, because your letters may be, okay, may be misunderstood by the reader and confuse him. Okay, be clear while writing, because your letters may be misunderstood by the reader and he may consider it as a spelling mistake. He may consider it as a spelling mistake. Okay. So be very clear and specific. Right. Followed by a motorbike accident. Followed by or following a motorbike accident. So which is followed and which is followed by? So ambulance followed by motorbike accident, or ambulance followed motorbike accident? So which is misunderstood here? You say followed by a motorbike accident. Followed by means second action. First action followed by the second action. Which is the first action and which is the second action now? Motorbike accident is the second one and ambulance is the first. So even before the accident you went in an ambulance. What do you mean? Which is the first one? Ambulance followed by motorbike accident. So motorbike accident is following ambulance. Okay, that is what you mean here. So following a motorbike accident or followed by, many people make a mistake here. Many people make a mistake. First incident followed by the second incident. Okay. First followed by the second. The second incidents or incident. The first incident, followed by the second incident. So followed by, I am following you. That means you are first and I am behind you. The second one will be behind the first one. That is followed by. But what you have written here is brought in by ambulance to emergency department of the Gold Coast University Hospital, followed by a motorbike accident on the highway. What do you mean? Accident happened after the ambulance taking to the hospital, accident happened or what? Huh? So be careful while presenting followed by and following. Or the second incident following, okay, the first incident. Okay. The first incident will be followed by the second incident, or the second incident, okay, following the first incident. The second incident happens following the second incident. So second is following the first. Okay, the second person is following the first person. Okay, is following the first incident. That is what it is. So be careful. If second is first or first is second, see what it comes. I have given both there. The first incident followed by the second incident. So, right, you fall down and you get hurt. Okay, you got hurt. Okay, following the fall. Right, like that. So be careful while presenting this followed by and following. Many people do this mistake. Okay, next one. On the highway and underwent various investigations. Underwent various investigations. Okay. Right. Why are you writing so much in the introduction itself? Okay, here, sorry. Okay. Various investigations and underwent various investigations. He underwent, active voice, right? Passive voice if possible. Various investigations were performed. Okay. Why space before comma? Scans and also surgical interventions performed. So performed, were performed. Interventions were performed because of severe injury to the spinal and extensive nerve damage, leading to permanent inability to use the lower part of the body. Suprapubic catheter was inserted. Very good, passive voice. As the bladder control was lost because of the injury to the spine, body part, the spine. The bladder control was lost. Suprapubic catheter was inserted as the bladder control was lost. What you can use a specific word here? Due to incontinence. Due to incontinence. We can use that word maybe. Okay, bladder control lost. That means could not manage, could not control. Okay, because of the injury to the spine. Why again injury to the spine? Okay. Injury to the spinal cord. Here, finished. Why again? Was lost is enough. Now, why do you want to repeat this one? Okay. So, no need to repeat. So, avoid repetition. Avoid repetition of words. Okay. Phrases. Clauses. And structures. Okay, avoid repetition. Whatever you are using once, try to avoid. Don't write again and again the same things. Okay, don't try to write again and again the same things. Okay, fine. Next one. On 15 April 2017, comma, why so much space? The patient. Why are you using the word patient? I think before also you have used the word patient. I forgot, I wanted to tell. Never tell them, never use. It's not a very good word. If you say the doctor will be very happy. Nurse, you'll say the nurse will be very happy. But doctor, that's very fine word. It's a positive word. Nurse is a very positive word. Physiotherapy is a very, very positive word. Okay, but patient, people were offended. You don't call me patient. Why are you calling me patient? You take your brother or sister or son or father or mother to the hospital and the nurse says, bring the patient here. You'll get angry. You get upset. How dare you call my father a patient? Of course, he's suffering from something, but why you call him patient? Then if you cannot allow somebody call your relative a patient, then why are you calling a patient a patient? You know, respect him. It's not a respectable word. Avoid using the word patient. It is not good manners. Okay, the word is not respectable word. It's not a title like doctor or nurse. Okay, it's not a positive word. It's not good manners. Respect your patient. Respect your patients. Okay. So you cannot call directly a person as a patient. Okay. You know the name, you can use the name or avoid using the word patient. It's very bad to use the word patient. Then on 5th April 2017. So again, patient two times was transferred. On 15th April 2000, the patient was transferred for further rehabilitation therapy to our hospital. To our hospital. The physiotherapy rehabilitation was encouraged for regaining muscle strength. The physiotherapy rehabilitation was encouraged. So maintain neatness for regaining muscle strength. So was encouraged. So if it is recent, we can say has been encouraged. Right. Handwriting is very clear, no doubt. And to instruct. The physiotherapy rehabilitation was encouraged for regaining muscle strength and to instruct on coping with the disability condition. And instructions were provided, you can say. Why are you using to here? Here you said rehabilitation was encouraged. So here instructions were provided for coping with the disability condition and avoiding. Why are you using to here? Okay. The lower limb muscle dystrophy. The lower limbs muscle dystrophy. Okay. Body parts. Okay. As the days advanced, okay. Why so archaic? Okay. Started using wheelchair for mobilization. Started. Who started? Wheelchair. Okay. Was recommended or has been recommended for mobilization. Mobilization has been possible with the support of a wheelchair. Wheelchair use has been recommended or advised or suggested to enhance mobilization and has regained complete strength and utilized the arms and upper body to the maximum. The discharge plan should include further rehabilitation and disability assessment and necessary aids to strengthen and support with mobility. And ADLs, write down activities of daily living instead. Required changes at home for wheelchair usage. House modification. House modifications are recommended for wheelchair utilization. Okay. House modifications are recommended for wheelchair usage, to suit wheelchair usage. Okay, to recommend daily home visits for 2 weeks. Instead of 2 weeks, you can write a fortnight. To support and teach, to adapt to the recent changes made at home. Continuation of physiotherapy to lower limbs to avoid a dystrophy. In addition, not additional, frequent GP's appointment for assessing the suprapubic catheter. In the above mentioned information, based on the above mentioned, not in, according to the above mentioned information, based on, if further particulars are required, please do not hesitate. So this is incomplete sentence. Based on the above mentioned circumstances, regular monitoring or supervision or whatever is recommended, would be beneficial, you could say. Okay. So this is incomplete sentence. You joined with if. If further particulars are required. So if further required particulars are there, then why did you not inform? Already you informed too much. In case any additional information is required, please do not. If further particulars are required, additional information is required, you can say, please do not hesitate to contact me. Very good. Yours sincerely. So to whom you are writing? You are writing to Annie Johnson. Okay. So yours sincerely. You have to leave 2 lines here. In charge nurse, rehabilitation ward, Pindara Private Hospital. Good. You have done well. But right, practice wise, it is better. But a lot of irrelevant information you have added. So try to minimize that information. Okay. Avoid unnecessary things and improve the quality. So here, avoid irrelevant information. So next, point number 22. Okay. Judge. Okay. Or identify which is important and which is unimportant. So proper judgment, sorry. Absolute judgment is required to classify the provided information into two broad categories. The relevant and the irrelevant. Information. The relevant and the irrelevant information, you have to divide it into 2 broad categories. So only on what grounds, whether it is known case or not known case, whether he is going to the same place or not, what is it, a referral letter, okay, to whom you are sending, upward direction or lateral direction or downward direction, okay, higher authority you are sending, so it is upward direction, okay, subordinate you are sending, so lower, same levels you are sending, then it is lateral. So this is what, these are the suggestions I can give you. So I have given you constructive criticism. Okay. So you have to identify all these things. Fine. This is round 1. Now we are going to round 2. Now what is this round 2? Round 2 is here. We are getting the typed version. I got it typed. Yeah. So is this required? Maybe no. Miss Anne Mary Johnson. Let us check. From where we'll find the information, you will know now. Anne Mary Johnson. This is the word. Anne Mary Johnson. It is one word. Anne Mary is one word. Then how come you changed it? Why did you change it? That means you think you can change whatever you want, and however you want to write, you can write. Is that wise enough to change? Is that wise enough to change it? So you have to know that. So let us see Anne Mary. Anne Mary Johnson. This is what it is. Anne Mary Johnson. Fine. So this is how you have to write with a hyphen. Then how come you changed this one? Okay. And is it Miss Anne Mary or Mrs. Anne Mary? Did he give anything else? Okay. Left to Anne Mary Johnson, the occupational therapist in charge of rehabilitation patients in Pindara Private Hospital. Okay. Right. So we don't know anything. So you use the word Miss, it's okay. So Anne Mary should be like this. M-A-R-I-E. Anne Mary should be hyphenated. They should not be separate. Anne Mary is hyphenated. Okay. So otherwise again you'll think why I gave like this one. So this is wrong. You have to say like this. No space. Anne, comma, M-A-R-Y. Anne Mary. Like this you have to write. Anne Mary Johnson. Okay. Occupational therapist. Yeah. That is right. Occupational therapist. Right. In charge of rehabilitation. What do you mean by in charge of rehabilitation? Do you think it is right what you have written? No, it is not right. So occupational therapist, right? That's fine. Then next line will be in charge. Okay. In charge. So see here very carefully. For the rehabilitation patients, in charge. Okay. Just write in charge. For the rehabilitation patients or in charge rehabilitation patients. In charge for the rehabilitation patients. Right as it is, na? Why you wrote in charge? Okay. In charge for. As it is, you write. In charge for the rehabilitation patients. The rehabilitation patients. Right. In charge for the rehabilitation patients. How it is there? In charge for the rehabilitation patients. Fine. So when you write separately, it should be separate. In charge nurse, then you have to write giant. But in charge for, preposition. In charge for. Okay. Pindara Private Hospital. So Pindara Private Hospital, 1182 Bermuda Street. Pindara Private Hospital, 1182 Bermuda Street. Yes. Then next one is Southport, QLD 4220. So in your handwriting that you have used, but while typing you did not write. Why? So Southport QLD 4220. So here Southport, one word. Then next line QLD. Okay. 4220. 4220. So this QLD stands for what? NSW stands for what? If you don't know, no problem. You can learn still. If you can write them, that would be better. If you know and write. If you don't know, that's okay. So now let us see. What does NSW stand for in Australia? NSW in Australia. So automatically it is coming. See. NSW in Australia. NSW Australia. It stands for New South Wales in Australia. New South Wales is an Australian state. So if you know that it is NSW, write New South Wales. Write New South Wales. If you don't know, okay, write NSW. You're going to Australia, you're going to UK. You should know more about them. You learn. NSW means what? If you write that is better. It shows that you are talented. Then QLD stands for what? Just type QLD. QLD. Okay. QLD in Australia. Okay, QLD means Queensland. Do you know that? If you don't know, learn, no. So what is the problem? QLD means Queensland. QLD means Queensland. Then why don't you write that? So you could have written, if you had written QLD, as instead of QLD, you would have written Queensland. Okay, that would have been even better. So you should know that. Okay, if you don't know, write QLD. If you know, write Queensland. You want to go to the English speaking countries, know more about them. NSW means New South Wales. That's it. You can Google that. You learn that. Next time QLD means Queensland. Remember that. I also came to know by learning like this only. Queensland is a state situated in northeastern Australia. So that is Queensland as an Australian state. This is QLD. This is QLD. Okay. This is QLD. Queensland. Fine. Right. So you'll get better marks if you do all these things. You're writing a formal letter and you are writing QLD. You're writing NSW. Okay. You score. People score 450 and above. How? When you format. This is a formal letter. Remember, in formal letter, remove the notes. So there is a lot of case notes. Write in sentences and write in full words. Write in full. Don't write short notes. It is told in the question paper itself every time. Avoid writing short notes. Okay, that is what they say. QLD, Queensland. Okay. Regarding Mr. Joe Black, comma, date of birth, put colon there. 1 May 1990. Colon is needed here. Colon. Mr. Joe Black, who was diagnosed with permanent paraplegia, comma, who was diagnosed with permanent paraplegia, comma, it is relative clause. Relative clause. Who is a relative pronoun? Who means he? He means Joe Black. It's a relation with the noun. A pronoun which has relation with the immediate previous noun. And this clause is a relative clause because it is using a relative pronoun. Requires a referral for assessing the disability levels. Okay. What is this? Requires a referral. Okay, you are writing a referral letter. Why do you want to say requires a referral letter? Okay. So, is being referred. Is being referred. Is being referred. Better I cross out this. Is being referred. Otherwise, you will not know what I crossed and what I put. Is being referred. Okay. For what purpose? Write a referral refer for the rehabilitation patients. In charge of the rehabilitation patients. For what? requesting assessment of Joe's disability level is being referred for disability level assessment. Assessment of Joe's disability level. Disability level assessment. Okay, referred for the disability level assessment. So here it is. So assessment disability level. Okay. So assessment of disability levels. Disability level assessment. Okay. Necessary aids. Necessary aids or beneficiary aids. Support and therapy. Necessary aids, comma, support and therapy. In order to regain, in order to help him to adapt and regain. So in order to, so for, you can say for adaptation and regaining to life, a life as close as possible to normal. So, and therapy for adapting to, and regaining okay independency for normal lifestyle, independency to lead normal lifestyle. Normal lifestyle. Okay. Following the discharge today. So that's how you can modify. You have written a very lengthy letter, first of all. Okay, I'm not, I'm just correcting your sentences. First, learn how to correct the sentences. Then afterwards, you can think about, okay, the relevant and irrelevant information. So Mr. Black's medical history reveals that he is allergic to penicillin. Okay. So penicillin means medical history only. So why do you want to write Mr. Black's medical history reveals that? Okay, Mr. Black is allergic to penicillin. Okay. And endone. Mr. Black, comma, Mr. Black, comma, a final year Bachelor of Law student, that you can say, pursuing, the patient is pursuing his bachelor's, Okay. Third year law you have written. Okay. A law student, is it required? So write. If it is not required, why do you want to write? Is it required that, so you are sending this letter to the occupational therapist? Okay. Is it required? Then you write, otherwise no need. Is allergic to penicillin and endone and has had. Has had. Why do you want to write in present perfect? You are saying 7 years ago. When you say ago, ago is a word which tells that it is past tense. Then why are you using has had or have had? There is no meaning in using. Had a fracture of the left wrist 7 years ago. Okay. Mr. Black is allergic to penicillin and endone. I'm just showing you how to correct your sentences. Allergy to penicillin and endone. E is there in the middle. See here, endone is capital letter. In the middle of the sentence, endone E is capital letter. So why did you not put capital letter here? If it is a beginning, you have to think. If it is in the middle, that is understood. Okay, endone. You can check the dictionary. Okay, check in the dictionary. Endone or endone. Capital or small. Endone is a brand name, my dear. I don't know whether you are able to understand what I am telling you. Endone is a brand name, healthdirect.gov.australia. Australian government is telling this one. Endone is a brand name. Australian government is telling, this is Australian, WW Australia. Free Australian health advice. Okay. I've shown you already that it is www Australia. www.healthdirect.government of Australia. So try to understand. It is telling that endone is a brand name. Then why did you put small letter? Okay. Right. Penicillin. Penicillin, you can think, you know what is penicillin. No need to worry regarding that. So penicillin. Okay. Or penicillin. Right now, let us see. In the beginning, capital letter is okay. Penicillin. Right. Brand name or generic name? Penicillin or penicillin? Brand name or generic name? So is penicillin a generic name or brand name? The generic penicillin. So penicillin is generic name. Okay. So generic and price, 8 brands are there, it seems. Right? Penicillin. So you have to think about these things, brand name and generic name. Okay. Right. Mr. Black is allergic to penicillin and endone. How can you join this one with the fracture of 7 years ago? This is present tense, that is past tense. Always he is allergic. So that's you have to separate that one. You cannot join this one with this one. There is no relation. So he had a fracture of the left wrist 7 years ago. Okay. He lives along with his, no need. He lives with his parents and a sister. Yeah. He lives with parents and a sister. Okay. On 10 March 2017, unnecessary space. M, capital letter. Name of the month should be in capital letters. Name of the month should be in capital letters. The names of the months should be in capital letters. Okay. For example, the names of the months should be in capital letters. March, May, okay, and so on. The names of the weekdays should be in capital letters. For example, Sunday, Friday, and so on. And next, on 10 March 2017, that patient was brought in by ambulance. Okay. Mr. Black was brought in by ambulance to the emergency department of Gold Coast University Hospital. Gold Coast, capital letters. Emergency department, no need of capital letters, but Gold Coast University Hospital, name of the hospital. Emergency department is any department like. So Gold Coast Emergency Department, then emergency E and D also should be capital letter. Gold Coast University Emergency Department. Then E and D also will be capital because it doesn't have any special name there. So no capitals. But if Gold Coast University Emergency Department brought in by ambulance to the Gold Coast University Emergency Department, then E and M also should be capital. E and D also should be capital letters. So followed by, not followed by, it is following a. Sorry, let others also know. So otherwise they will not know. It's not followed by. It is following a motorbike accident on the highway. Full stop. Separate, no, this is what happened to him. So various investigations, scans, and is means also only. So why again also? Various investigations, scans, and interventions were performed because of severe injury to the spinal cord. And extensive nerve damage leading to permanent inability to the lower part of the body. Inability to the lower part of the body. That means you cannot use. Suprapubic catheter. Let's ask a Cambridge Dictionary once again. Is it hyphenated or not? No, it is not showing. Supra and sub. So just let us take supra. Supra is without a hyphen and with hyphen. Supra. Supra means mentioned earlier. Means above. Sub means below. Over or above. Supra means over or above. Over or above. A supracervical. So like this. Suprapubic. One word. Supracervical, suprapubic. So same thing like that. Supracervical. Hysterectomy. So suprapubic catheter. Okay. One word. So this is the way how you have to identify. Right. Suprapubic catheter was inserted as the bladder control was lost. Okay. Because of the injury to the spine. We already told here injury to the spinal cord. So this is not necessary. It is repeated, redundant. Already you told before. 275 words. 277 words. Reduce as many words as possible. Okay. Was lost. So as the bladder control was lost, suprapubic catheter was inserted as the bladder control was lost. So there is a word called incontinence. What does it say? Well, can you use this word incontinence here? Incontinence means control, inability to control the excretion of urine or the contents of the bowels. That is what it is. So incontinence, you could have said the word inability to control, the lost. Control the excretion of urine or the contents of the bowels is lost. That is incontinence. You can definitely use this. Suprapubic catheter was inserted due to incontinence. So due to incontinence. Finished. You could have used this one. That is correct only. But if you use the word incontinence, it's a very special medical term. Incontinence is a medical specialized word. You will get more marks. You will get more marks. Definitely, you will get more marks. Let me check with the YouTube candidates. So, how can I comment here? Comment. Live comments. Okay. China, how can I comment here in the YouTube? I want to just greet them. Just to say, write your valuable feedback. Provide your valuable feedback. How see first. Live chat. Okay. Provide your valuable feedback. Right on there. Provide your valuable feedback on the session. Okay. So on 15 April, so this girl doesn't know that she has to put capital letters. On 15 April 2017, let us see here. 15 April, capital letter is there. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So here it is. She has written here A, capital letter, but typed A, small letter. Okay, no problem. But still, uh, on 15 April 2017, the patient was transferred for further rehabilitation therapy. Okay. Don't use the word patient. Mr. Black was transferred for further rehabilitation therapy to our rehabilitation center. Okay. So rehabilitation and rehabilitation repeated. So any one you have to remove. So avoid repetition. That's what I'm saying. So Mr. Black was transferred to the rehabilitation center for further management of his condition or something like that. You can change. Okay. So this is repeated. Or you can say was transferred for further therapy to our rehabilitation center or at our rehabilitation center. Fine. Physiotherapy. So full stop should be immediate. Here also you made a mistake. Physiotherapy exercises were encouraged for regaining muscle strength and instructions were provided. Education was provided regarding. Okay. Physiotherapy education were encouraged for regaining muscle strength, comma. So physiotherapy exercises were encouraged. So here also instructions were. Education, sorry, no capital letter. Education was provided for coping strategy. Education was provided regarding education was provided to cope with the disability condition. Like that you can say. Oh my God. Education was provided regarding strategies to cope with the disability condition and okay, disability condition, comma, okay, why you are writing all these things? I don't understand. Okay, anyhow, I am correcting the sentences only. So here you can say and you can say full stop here. Regarding strategies to cope with the disability condition, to cope with, to avoid lower limb muscle, lower limbs muscle dystrophy. Regain complete strength and utilize the arms, upper body. There's no relation here. Right. So yeah. Uh, so write full stop. Don't write these all sentences. So here capital letter will put. So physiotherapy exercises were encouraged for regaining muscle strength. Education was provided regarding strategies to cope with the disability condition and to avoid. Okay, you can write like that. Let me remove this. Okay, to cope with the disability condition and to avoid lower limbs muscle dystrophy. Full stop. Uh, so here you can say, sorry. Yeah, once again. Remove this one. Okay. Complete strength has been regained. So here, complete strength has been regained. And the upper arms, the arms and the upper body have been utilized to the maximum. So after these physiotherapy exercises, complete strength has been regained. Number one, and the upper and arms and the upper body have been utilized to the maximum. Okay. So the discharge plan should include further. So this you should not say. You should not say all these things. Okay. Following the discharge or upon discharge. Okay. Sorry. Okay. This already you have told. So why are you telling again here? I mean, so discharge, further rehabilitation, disability assessment, and necessary aids to strengthen and support with mobility and ADLs. All we have seen earlier. Okay, let us see in the beginning. Disability level, beneficiary aids, therapy, adapting, regaining normal lifestyle, prefer following the discharge. Everything is there already. So no need. This complete sentence is not necessary because you have already told in the beginning itself. Require changes at home. So necessary modifications, necessary modifications, necessary modifications for wheelchair usage, wheelchair, wheelchair is one word or two words? Check once again there. Wheelchair, wheelchair is one word. So wheelchair access you can say, for wheelchair access. So a method by which someone can enter or leave a place in a wheelchair. So necessary modification for wheelchair access. Necessary modifications for wheelchair access. Okay. Necessary modifications have to be made or recommended. Necessary modifications are recommended or advised necessary modifications for wheelchair access are recommended. So wheelchair usage, that is what it. Necessary residential modifications, necessary modifications. Necessary modifications at home. So let it be there like that. Required changes at home for wheelchair usage. That only I improved the quality. This is correct only. This is not required change. This sentence is not suitable. Sorry, the grammatical part is different. Okay. So point is correct only. Required changes at home for changes at home are required for wheelchairs usage. Like that you have to say. Changes or modifications. So changes are required. Changes at home are required. Like that you have to say. Okay. For wheelchair usage, like that you have to write. So I put it in bracket. It's correct only, but modifications are needed. But the quality I have changed in the previous. Necessary modifications at home for wheelchair access are recommended. To recommend daily home visits. So recommend here. So are advised or suggested. So here recommend you said no. So the daily home visits. Okay. Okay. Regular daily home visits. Daily home visit. Daily means regular. So regular daily home visits, not one, more than one. Regular daily home visits by occupational therapist. By the occupational therapist or an occupational therapist for 2 weeks to support and teach. To support, teach and adapt. Teaches, support is somebody, teaches somebody and adapt is himself to the recent changes at home. By the occupational therapy for 2 weeks to educate to educate that also is not setting properly. Okay, regular daily home visits by the occupational therapy for 2 weeks. Don't think this all needed here. Regular daily home visits by the occupational therapist for 2 weeks. Regular daily home visits by the occupational therapist for 2 weeks. Regular daily home visits by the occupational therapist for 2 weeks is recommended. Are recommended, not is recommended. Regular daily home visits are recommended. So, are recommended. That's enough. This is beating around the bush. Are recommended. Are recommended. Otherwise, you can say for ensuring adaptation. For ensuring adaptation to the changed circumstances or modifications to the modifications, residential modifications. I don't think all these are needed, but still. So, not necessary. Continuation of physiotherapy to lower limbs to avoid dystrophy. This already we have dystrophy spelling dy. Continuation of physiotherapy is advised. Physiotherapy to the lower limbs. Is advised. Okay. In addition, or physiotherapy has to be continued. Continuation of physiotherapy is necessary. Okay. In addition, frequent GP's appointment for assessing. Frequent GP's appointment or appointments. Frequent appointments for assessing the suprapubic catheter. Full stop. Should be immediately. In addition, frequent GP's appointment for assessing the suprapubic catheter. Okay, sentence structures. You have a lot of problem with sentence structures. So try to improve the quality of your sentences. Try to improve the quality of your sentences. Okay. Frequent GPs as appointments for assessing the. What is there? No verb, nothing. Huh? So frequent GPs appointments. Frequent appointments. In addition, frequent appointments with the GP, the general practitioner, for assessing the suprapubic catheter or scheduled or advised or recommended, something like that. In the above mentioned information, based on the above mentioned hyphen mentioned, based on the above mentioned circumstances, not information. Circumstances are more important than information. Based on the above mentioned circumstances, okay. So regular monitoring, what did he say there? Assessment. Supercubic catheter, even the question paper itself has a mistake. Okay. Based on the above mentioned circumstances, regular monitoring and appropriate management of Mr. Black's condition would be profoundly beneficial. Full stop. In case any additional information is required, please do not hesitate to contact me. Yours sincerely, 2 lines. In charge nurse. In charge nurse. Rehabilitation ward. Indira Private Hospital. You are a nurse in charge of the rehabilitation ward. Indira Private Hospital. Okay, fine. It took quite a deal of time. That's okay, but I don't understand why so much should go in. So at least one more line I have to remove. Still one more line is there. Okay. At least that has come into one page. Still it has gone down. Okay. What I'll do is else. So I'll make it home 11. That is better. No, 11.5. Yeah, my space is there. 11.7. Okay, now it's fine. Right. Okay, that's good. So at last, we have successfully done this a beginner's letter. No problem. If we can correct in the beginner's letters like this, then definitely they will improve. So I'm very happy that we have successfully completed the first letter. Uh, Thank you for patience, one and all. And we are going to correct more letters like this. So subscribe to the channel and be in tune. So file, save, file, save as PDF. Yeah. And then sign, add signature. Where is my signature? Yes, apply. Okay. So next one we have. So these are our standard labels. We can go, and if it is there, that means we can think that Simon sir has corrected these papers. Yeah. Close. Watermark. These are our papers, so you can feel that, you can trust that these are corrected by Simon sir. Header and footer. So we have quality check review, Grandmaster class, practice with Peter, VSPS at 7sentinels.org. Then you have sentinels.org, and this is my telephone number. You can contact me always. Okay, so there we go. Fine. Then next one is quality check. So where is quality check? Quality check. Quality check answer sheet is here. This is Control C, Control V. This is not fine. Okay. Image. Yeah, this is the original logo. Yes. So you can see this. These are our logos. This is Grandmaster class, and this is me here, practice with Peter, and this is our logo, 4 quadrants, and quality check writing, and this is my signature, and this is Grandmaster class logo in the middle. So we're taking a lot of pains to train the students, but students don't need this much. That is what they think. We just want to pass OET. Why should we struggle this much? Okay, we are not going to be English teachers, but don't you know that you are going to an English speaking country? So you have to be very careful. It's very important for you, because we are teachers. Because of you all will get the name. Okay, so follow these things and try to implement in your regular daily life. English is a way of life, not just a means to go to UK. After going to UK, if you don't understand English, then what is the use? Okay, so file, save. So if you have any comments and suggestions, you can always get back to us. So these are quality check corrections. Okay, quality check corrections. So you can always come here, reading, writing. Yeah, more presentations. There is writing workshop. Classical conditioning. Yeah, this is classical conditioning. So this classical conditioning is a new channel, and we have created this for nurses. For nurses, and you can join these things, and you can improve your quality. Daily, we'll be correcting the letters. Right, we'll be correcting letters on a regular basis. This is the first letter in the series. This is a new series itself. Till now, we have corrected 4,000 letters and more. 4,000 letters and more. So now, because of all the things that we have learned online, so we are trying to start, instead of classical corrections, we started classical conditioning. Okay, so try to improve them and try to use them. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.